Today we're here with Jim Elger. Jim, I'm your host, Anthony Castaneda. For telling us your story today, we're going to give you this Raw Deal t-shirt. I think that'll fit.
Thank you.
So tell me your story, what happened?
Okay, well, after being laid off from a company that I was with for 20 years, I kind of bumped around, met someone. Now I was a bit older by then.
Okay.
And we lived together for a little bit, and then we got married. At the time, I was earning half the money I was when I was working at the previous job. Okay, so money was a little tight.
Right, well, I'm sure money's tight for everyone now, so
yeah.
We could all relate to that story.
Yeah. So I was working, and my wife wasn't at the time. She had children from a previous marriage, which had grandchildren. I came home one day after work, and there was a message on the answering machine, and it was from MasterCard,
okay,
stating some third party used my card to charge $300.
So what was coming through your mind at this time?
Well, at first I didn't know what it was. I
Sure.
said, what is this? So when I called and they told me who this person was, and I knew that was my wife's daughter-in-law.
Right.
When she came home, I questioned her, why did you give Elaine the MasterCard? She says, well, to charge school clothes for the grandkids.
She didn't talk to you beforehand
No,
about it?
no,
Okay.
I was kind of like, whoa.
Did you both have separate cards, or did
No,
she
it was
actually
my
take
card.
your
She
card?
didn't have any credit.
Okay.
So, and when I told my wife that I put it on hold now, what's going on? She started to go run around the house screaming that the grandkids are not going to have clothes for school, and
So she got a little upset.
yeah, I think it was more dramatic than upset.
A little. All right. So what would you say it was more than?
Yeah, she was being dramatic, and she grabbed some pills at that time, and she says, "I can't take this," and she was going to take these pills.
So this is a pretty extreme jump from going from
Yeah, I don't
being a little
understand
upset to
Yeah.
threatening to kill herself.
Yeah, well, what I was worried about at the time, because I knew from previous marriage, her kids told me that she tried to do this with her other husband.
So this wasn't the first time
No.
Had she actually attempted it before, or was it
Supposedly, from the story I heard, that yes, she. So I was quite concerned, and I tried. I grabbed the pills. I tried to get the pills from her, and in the struggle, you know how you struggle.
Sure.
We were banging up against the stove and the countertop. I finally got the pills from her, and she calmed down.
Okay.
And then I called back MasterCard. Said, okay, let it go through. Everything calmed down, but later she went to her mother and father's, and she had her shorts on, and they saw the bruises.
Now, was this later that same day, or?
No, it had to be about a few days later.
Okay.
And
were things cordial between you at this point, or were
oh
you
yeah,
still
we got
bitter?
back to okay, everything's settled
Okay.
down.
Sure. Okay.
And she told a story that I beat her up.
Really?
Yeah. Well, unbeknownst to me, she went to and reported it to the police and everything. Didn't hear anything for about 2 months, 3 months later. And I can't believe this, but I got a letter in the mail from the sheriff stating that I was being charged with domestic violence.
And now you were still living with her at the
Yes,
time?
we were still together.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was, I went, you know, I was being arrested and they sent me a letter.
Now, did you question her about this at all?
Well, by then she decided to move out of the house once that transpired.
So when you got the letter, she wasn't living with you
Right,
anymore?
she
Okay.
left. Once she did that, she left. And so I didn't know what it was, and I talked to a good friend of mine who was a lawyer and said, oh yeah, you're be charged with a felony. You
Wow.
better get a lawyer. I said, felony for what?
Yeah, of course.
And so I got a lawyer.
Did you have to go to court?
We set up a court date. It was quite interesting because it was a very weak case.
Sure.
Because it was 2 months later. No, in fact, everybody said, well, did you get arrested, handcuffed, and fingerprinted? I said, no, I just got a letter from the sheriff.
Now, did she have any pictures or
She
evidence
had
of the
pictures,
bruises?
you know, Polaroid pictures of the bruises.
Right.
So the judge knew it was kind of weak, so they said, if you take the diversion course, there's a 6-month diversion course for anger management.
Okay.
You take this, would adjudicate you not guilty. So
you had to take basically a plea deal?
Well, yeah. We could have gone to court and
Right.
fought it, but all parties involved knew it was a very questionable case.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I took the diversion course, and it was quite. You're in there with some people that were okay.
Well, not to mention that cost money out of your
Yes,
pocket,
I had
correct?
the lawyer fee was $2,000.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's
So this all originally started off with a
Yeah.
$300 charge that you
Yeah.
originally couldn't afford,
yeah.
and now that escalated into how
And-
much money did you
Well, it was
eventually end up having to
$2,000
pay?
for the lawyer.
Right.
There's a couple $100 for the diversion. I mean, you go to this, you have to be there every week. You cannot do drugs, you cannot drink, you cannot. There's things.
So it's
they will
pretty
test
strict,
you.
right?
Yeah, and in fact, the people that do this diversion course, they look at you and says, "I used to do drugs," and when you walk in here, I can tell by looking at you.
So they intimidate you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And it's.
So
it
you were in
wasn't-
there with some people that you really didn't feel you should be
Yes,
in there.
but I said I'm sticking it through. So
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That seems
Well,
pretty unfortunate.
it was, but needless to say, we divorced
Right.
and haven't seen her since.
Well, Jim, thanks for telling us your story. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And now we need your help. Go to myrawdeal.com now and vote for which story you think got the rawest deal. Will it be story number 1? It could be story number 2. Maybe it'll even be story number 3. The choice is yours. Get up now and go to your computers. That's myrawdeal.com. I'm your host, Anthony Castaneda. Thanks for watching.